What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Okay, listen. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is the season 5 opener, episode 2. We have already caught up with the girls in episode 1. Check that video out. Episode 2 is called The Rumor Meal, MEAL, because in this episode we're going to see the ladies all come together to sort of get Ashley out of the house. Like I said, Ashley's been going through like a little postpartum type situation where she is kind of panicking about having a baby, having this life that she's responsible for, and she's had some issues, some trouble, which I pretty much suspected that she would. She's had infection in her milk ducts. She's got a tear in her anus. I think it's from being constipated. I've heard, I haven't had any kids, but I know that the conversation can be very, very graphic as it pertains to being a new mom. Like things, all that stuff is like moved around in there, and the baby's like sitting on top of stuff. So like everything's got to kind of like realign. I definitely don't think she's got an anal tear because of her husband. He doesn't really look like he could tear an anus at all. So yeah. He looks like he might enjoy getting his anus torn, honey, but he does not look like he could tear his way out of a paper tissue bag, darling. So anyway, so they're gonna throw her this party because it's been like 3 months and she still is not trying to leave the house or anything, and so they're gonna give her this party. We get to see Karen with Ray, and oh gosh, it's so painful. It is so painful just how divested he is from her. Like, he is not into it at all. Either he not into the season, he not into the show, or he not into her. Either way, Ray is disconnected. And I could see that it hurts her feelings a little bit. So maybe this is really a real situation. We also get to see her go to happy hour with Candiace. And I don't know why Karen is holding on to Candiace the way that she is. Maybe she feels like Candiace will be her watchdog, or I don't know. Or she feels this genuine connection with Candiace. Candiace likes to treat Karen like she's her surrogate mom. So not that the relationship is strange. It's just Candiace can't be controlled, and Karen likes to have a measure of control. Robyn meets with Gizelle because he wants her to tell her that he's gonna ask Robyn to marry him. He's been told that he has to get married, so he's gonna try to do this right. Gizelle is going to help him pick a ring and help him do the planning and all of that. And this is something she can focus on as opposed to focusing on her fake relationship with Jamal Bryant. That fictitious, made up, forced lie that she is pushing on everybody. Like, even if y'all got married, sis, no one believes that he loves you. No one believes that you're doing anything other than settling. Those stupid conversations that people have had with you that tells you who else you gonna be happy with, who else gonna love your children, like who else would you be happy traveling with or growing old with. Girl, goodbye. He not only did he have relationships outside of that, but he don't even talk about them children. how he gonna love your children and he don't love all his children? Like, maybe because it's not on camera. I don't know. But when he brings the kids together, and it's like, okay, this is the Jamal Bryant generations and all of that, them kids is not involved. It's just your girls and him. Like, that's the only family. Like, this whole cover up pisses me off because I grew up in the church. I grew up with dudes covering up and women, couples covering up bull crap. I grew up with this. Not that we not all flawed, but at the same time, anyway, Gizelle go to she gonna help Juan pick a ring. She go to lunch with Monique. They trying to squash the beef. It's fine, whatever. They decide they're gonna throw this dinner party for Ashley, and they really feel like Candiace should come because this will be an opportunity for Candiace and Ashley to kind of make amends, right? At the same time, Monique is a little perturbed because she's not really sure why Candiace would invite Sharice to her party, to her anniversary party, and she knew that Sharice and Monique had a little thing, right? So she was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna talk to her about it. Now, off camera, of course, Gizelle can't wait to tell it. Outside of just moving Ish around and getting Ish stirred and poking the Ish, she don't really have a storyline, so this is what Gizelle is good for. Again, Monique would not talk about it, right? So Gizelle goes ahead and lets us know what the tea is. So apparently, Monique had a trainer, a guy that was working out with her and getting her body back in shape, I guess after the baby, and they was hanging out a lot and around town. And Sharice was reporting on it, and it got back to Chris, and apparently Sharice was blowing it up or making more out of it. Like, I don't know the nitty gritty, but apparently Sharice is the one that pointed it out, brought it up, and put it into the light. And Monique, of course, did not discuss this. This is all from Gizelle. So we still basically do need to get the tea on it, but this is the gist of what may or may not be going on. Then we get to see Ashley. She's got a breastfeeding coach, which in the commercial I thought was a dude, but it's a perfectly lovely woman, and she seems like she's very good at her job. It looks like it would be a real easy job to do too. Like, anyway, her mom comes over with the worst hair and or wig. Like, I just do not get it, but yeah, Ashley going through postpartum, child. So then we get to see Wendy and Candiace. Now, I think Wendy seems like a perfectly lovely person. I don't know how long it's gonna last. Now, let me just tell you this. My relationship with African women has not been stellar. Okay? I love them. I think they beautiful. But for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't know about me and African women. Again, I think they're magnificent and beautiful and wonderful and gorgeous and lovely. I just don't know why I always end up fighting with them. Anyway, but she seems like a perfectly lovely person. She seems very smart, very accomplished. Like, until they played the clip, I didn't even realize that I've seen her many times on CNN as a political commentator. Like, that just elevated my excitement for having her on the show, in my opinion. I just feel like she's going to bring this element of wit and intelligence that, is going to be great for the show, right? So we get to meet Wendy, and she's a boss girl. Like, she's a professor, like I said, a political commentator. She does several things. She's a mom of 3. She's got a beautiful husband, super intelligent, and she don't play the radio. Like, she's noticed the fact that every time Karen has met her, even though they've known each other for several years, she acts like she's meeting her for the first time. So she know Karen throwing shade, and I can't wait for her to throw it right back. Okay, right back. So there's that. Then we get to see um yeah, so anyway, Candiace goes and pees on a stick. Like it was this womp womp moment where she was like, yeah, so I peed on a stick. We learned later on in the conversation that her and Chris not even really having sex like that. Like they hitting and missing with the sex. Like you keep trying to create this life that seems like it's rich and fulfilled, like you're some type of debutante, sis, and you're not like you are not, girl. You just a regular girl who married a regular extra regular ass dude. Okay, and you're trying to make it seem like he rode in on a white horse. No, he is the white horse, sis. He is the white horse, and you need to get off his back and get your own job. So we get to this dinner, perfectly lovely setup, no theme except, to get Ashley out of the house. Gizelle puts the place setting down. It is weird to see Gizelle getting along with Monique, but that's not going to last. Because Gizelle, much like her relationship, is less than genuine. Anyway, all the girls come in. Candiace comes last with Wendy, like fashionably late. Like I think they had already had appetizers by the time Candiace and Wendy came in. And then we got the anal tear conversation, which is par for the course. I've been in several conversations with women after they have had their babies, and it's always like the grossest conversation. I'm just not easily grossed out by that kind of stuff. Like if you were to sneeze and blow snot out your nose, like I may lose it. My stomach might turn a little bit, but for the most part, like doodle conversation, bukkake and anal conversation, none of that bugs me. None of that bothers me. But the other ladies didn't want to talk about it. So we're going to move along, and we're moving. And they talked a little bit about sex. How did we get on the subject of sex? I can't remember. Anyway, Gizelle once again does not want to talk about her and Jamal having sex, right? Because they're not married, right? So they're not supposed to be. It's a lot of stuff she can't do, that's why I said this is perfect for her. This whole fake Jamal storyline is perfect for her because she's got like a lot of parameters and stipulations on what she can and can't talk about, because he is supposed to be the leader of this huge flock and the pastor and the ethical figurehead of this huge church. Like it's a lot of stuff that it's not gonna happen on camera. It's not gonna be discussed on camera, but whatever. I don't know how we got on the subject of sex. I don't know why I can't remember that. Anyway, Wendy said to she said to Karen, y'all still having sex? Oh, shade. She coming for us. So then we get on the subject of Sharice's child. And first things first. No. Okay, so we got on the subject of Sharice first. And that's what it was. Ashley, miss itself. Ashley talking about some how was that party? How was the party yesterday? And so Candiace gonna look down like, you didn't invite that girl on purpose, and she called you out on it. Slick, shady, but she called you out on it, right? And so everybody was like, it was cool, except for Monique was like, that walrus was there. It's weird that she's calling her walrus. I really could think of some other stuff she could call her, but okay. I mean, Gizelle is more walrus like them gelatinous thighs. I don't know. Anyway, and so Candiace was like, now, it came out off camera that after Monique and Candiace had a tip last season, Candiace made a beeline to make friends with Sharice. So evidently, whatever this is that happened between Sharice and Monique must have happened a minute ago. Or either that, or you know, that whole thing with Monique bringing old girl to kind of embarrass and expose Gizelle. Y'all remember the dude that she was dating, the one that was getting head in the park from a girl, and he was married. And I think Monique invited his wife to come on, and she was also a good friend of Sharice, and Sharice kind of resented the fact that Monique invited her. So I don't think they've been right since then, Sharice and Monique. But I think these are separate issues. Like, it's like ongoing. So evidently Candiace went and made friends with Sharice deliberately, because she knew that she was a person that was supposed to be kind of an enemy of Monique's. So fast forward when Monique was like, yeah, it was a good party, it was fine, except I had to deal with this walrus. And Gizelle was like, oh, you mean Sharice, right? Like, boom, put it on the table, right? And so Candiace was like, well, I had no idea at all that you guys had beef like that. Like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna tell you something. It's not a lot. Now, I know it seemed like a lot that would get me to windmill you. But baby, when I tell you, you standing in my face and playing, not that it'll make me windmill you, but we gonna address it. We gonna address it right there. Like, I'm gonna say it to your face. Like, to your face. I'm gonna say it. It doesn't matter. So you can play stupid if you want to, and we're gonna bring you all the way into the smart, educated light. Like, we doing this, right? And so Monique was like, really, B? Really, B? This how you gonna play it? Oh, okay. Monique is fed up. Like, she feels like they're supposed to be working on their relationship and getting back to this place, and she feels like she's the only one working at it, and Candiace is reaping all the benefits of it. And of course now she's seeing that Candiace don't see it for her. Like, she being fakey jakey, like real pageant girl, right? It's this weird, awkward moment. And so Monique was like, well, we'll talk about it later. She was like, oh, I guess she's got beef with me. Meanwhile, Dr. Wendy's eyes is just rolling all over. I was like, Dr. Wendy, slow down. They're going to get stuck like that. Like, if you start rolling your eyes this early in the season, sis, they're going to get stuck like that. They're going to be swollen and engorged. I'm telling you, because it's a lot of eye rolling moments. So then Robyn on cue says, gives Candiace a way that she could just move past the situation and apologize, because when they bring the whole thing up with Ashley, she says, I feel like we should maybe talk later and just really try to maybe get back to this place. It's the same bull crap that she did with Monique. It's fake. She doesn't mean it, obviously. You didn't invite a girl to your anniversary party. You came late to this get together. And like Gizelle said, you're not taking accountability. Monique said it first last season, and Gizelle wasn't down for it. But now this is what Gizelle is leading with, because when Gizelle and Monique went for cake testing, we learned that Gizelle had done a show did a little thing on Watch What Happens Live. You know how they get them to talk real messy about each other on Watch What Happens Live. And she said a couple of things about Candiace and her mom, and she was laughing and all of that. And so Candiace, being the vicious bee that she is, went on Twitter and went after Gizelle's jugular, right? So Gizelle really felt like, even though she at this cake testing for Candiace's anniversary party this last episode, she still felt like Candiace didn't accept responsibility for it. Like, Candiace really hurt her, and she went below the belt. She called her house a $900,000 cabin, and just all this other little stuff that wouldn't have bothered me, because you would never see the inside of my home ever. I don't care if it was a shoebox or Taj Mahal, darling. You would never be invited in the inner sanctum. Like, I don't do this. I don't care how much money they paying them. I can't be friends for no reason. I can't be friends for no reason, and I can't be fake. Now, I wish I could. I really do, because it would mean maybe a lot more income for me. Like, I could just be in front of people and be fake. But no, your girl can't do it. Anyway, so yeah, like on cue, after she gives it this really fake phony speech about we can talk about this later and then try to work on it and just get to this better place and maybe approach. It's just so stupid. And so Ashley calls her out on it, and she was just like, well, obviously you didn't feel that way because when it hasn't called me, check on me with the baby, you're the only one that you didn't invite me to your party, and you still insist on carrying on. And she was like, so Robyn jumps in on cue. Maybe if you apologize this way. Okay. Be quiet, Robyn. Hush. All right, just be glad you're out the house. Okay, just be glad you got nice something nice to eat for a second. You know what I mean? And so obviously Candiace gets defensive, and then Gizelle chimes in, and then Karen jumps in on camera and says she feels like she understands what it feels like to be gangbanged. No, you don't. Ashley's the one with the anal tear. How you feel like you got gangbanged? Like, no, it's inappropriate. It's not the appropriate label. Like, if you mean ganged up on, which I guess essentially is the same thing, but when you throw the bang in there, it becomes sexual. Karen, you got to get this together. It is amusing though, but she feel like all the girls jumping on Candiace. I was like, I mean, all the girls should jump on Candiace. They should make more of a effort, to jump on her, like verbally gather her together. That's the only way she's gonna learn, because she is running around like Gizelle said, like a Tasmanian devil. Like, she's out of control with it. She thinks way more of herself than she should. Anyway, Ashley can hold her own. She can hold her own. At the same time, all of the ladies are like, here's an opportunity for you guys to truly bury the hatchet. Here's an opportunity for you to say, here's some things that I said that I'm not proud of. And Candiace is not doing that. Candiace isn't apologizing. She's not admitting that she was wrong. I mean, if it's an opportunity to have a moment where she can get a piece of paper and jab it into the corner of her eye like she is just crying buckets, and she's not. She's just jabbing the corner of her eye trying to look like she crying. Like, what? She's not gonna do it. She's not gonna sit there and it not be a moment for her and apologize. It's gonna have to be sort of like a reunion grandstanding moment where she can really get full on attention. Like, the girl needs to be brought down a peg or two. Here's a person that could benefit from a torn anus. She needs to be brought down a peg or two, darling. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so Wendy, meanwhile, is like, I need alcohol. Do we have any booze? Do we have any booze? Like, is the bar open? And it's this really contentious moment, and the show goes off. Like, I think this is the dinner where it all goes down, but for some reason I thought the husbands was there, so this can't be the dinner that it all goes down. But this is a good second episode. Now, I think they keep, even in season 1, they kept playing like this audio from whatever that fight was. And it's supposed to make you feel like it's menacing. But again, if you follow the blogs, you kind of know the gist of what went on. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm intrigued at the Charisse element, that they're bringing this, Charisse's name up. So we're going to get to see a little bit more from her next week. I think she is an executive producer, so she might be popping in and out. Anyway, just being messy. So I'm excited about that. You guys tell me what you think about this new season. I know they could have probably combined these 2 episodes. So, but they broke it up and it's fine. Y'all tell me what you think. Y'all tell me what you think of the new girl. What do you guys think of each of the ladies as they rolled into this new season? How do you guys feel about their storylines? Like, are you excited? What are your thoughts about what's going on? Like, I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees, time for me to get my coffee. My coffee. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I holla.